Now
we are joined by the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin. He will watch your presentations. Good afternoon, dear friends. My name is Tatiana Yakovich. I'm from Serbia. Well, my Russian sometimes maybe not so good, but this time I'll try to do my best. I'm happy to welcome all of you here at the most friendly and international youth platform of this year, at the 19th World Festival of Youth and Students. Yes, it's true that the 19th World Festival has become a key event for the youth from all over the world. This event has united at the same platform the representatives of more than 180 countries. It is not by chance that the biggest festival is hosted by the biggest country in the world. This World Festival is now coming to its end, and we had a very intense agenda and very intense week of educational programs with interesting discussions, lections, masterclasses, and workshops. And also in the framework of each thematic area, we've organized a number of foresight sessions. The aim of educational program of the festival was to create an image of the future in each direction and in each area. The educational program included 12 thematic areas. Each of them was represented by 6 days forum. Speaking about the numbers, we had 11,000 participants that took part in the educational program of our festival. We had more than 150 platforms working each day, and we had more than 1,300 speakers and experts that took part in the festival's program. So, dear friends, today we'll be speaking about the results of your one-week work, and we've gathered here in order to present our ideas, projects, our visions of the future that you reached during your participation at the festival. So I invite the participants so that they could present their programs from thematic areas. You were chosen from your teams. You will be the speakers from your thematic areas. We have Marina Dobrinets. Let's congratulate her. She's from the area Technologies of the Future. Tanya Isabella Karvinen from Ecology area. Lenormand Maxime from Aviation of the Future. Irina Velikaya, International Youth Media Center, New Media. Alexander Lee, Economy for the Future Development. Rachna Bhatt, Healthcare. Diana Jalalova, Civil Platform of Development. Hao Heng Zheng, from Projecting the Future, Architecture and Design. Hassan Hamed, Global Policy and its Agenda, How to Defend the World. Ghazi Yusr Khaled, The Future of Science and Global Education. Then we have Svetlana Shevchenko, Industries of the Future. Fabio Accoli, World Railroad Network, Anticipating the Future. And also we have a participant from Canada, Dixon Fraser Joshua. So now each of you will have 1.5 minutes, and you'll be able to present your main ideas or your vision's future of your area. So Marina, please, you have the floor. Thank you so much. Finally, we've gathered here at the same hall. Good afternoon. My name is Marina Dobrinets. I'm representing the Russian Federation at our festival. During our educational program, I participated in the area Technologies of the Future. During our sections, we've touched upon many topics that may not be directly related to technologies. We've touched upon culture and sports, education and science, healthcare, and many other topics. But the main conclusion that we've drawn on our section, that if today we are talking about the future, then this future is inextricably linked with the digital technologies. The world is changing at a very fast pace. Today, we don't have any doubt that digital world is not the world of tomorrow. It is the reality that we have today. Of course, the development of technologies gives us many opportunities and possibilities. For 1 second, we can get any information we want. But this medal has an opposite side as well. The digital world gives us a new challenge. It sets new global threats, cyber criminality, big data that is out of control, protection of the information. It will be impossible to solve these problems in one and only country because the digit has no borders, it has no statehood. We have many issues and many questions, but we are also many here. We're all young, bright, and we want to live in a world where we don't have digital illiteracy. We want to live in a world where quantum computers are already a reality. We want anybody and everyone to have an access to the internet. We want technologies to protect our health. The issue is global. In order to solve global challenges, the UN has formulated 17 Sustainable Development Goals. We, the youth of the world, and especially those who work in the technology area, those who were present here, the Technologies of the Future section, calling for the international community, we advocate to introduce 18th goal, to create sustainable digital ambience. This is the classic image of SDGs. Here we have one free spot for the 18th goal, and it is expecting our decision. So let us solve the problems of the future starting from today. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you so much. Now we have a speaker from ecology.
Hi, my name is Isabella, and I'm from Finland. And I have to say that I'm so happy that I have been able to participate in this festival and meet some of the world's most amazing, the creative and bright people, and I have had chance to work with them. Thank you for my crew there. We, in our manifest, wanted to talk about waste management and reduce amount of waste. So, I'm here to present to you our application called Waste Bank. Waste Bank is a platform where a consumer who produces the waste is able to give waste to new user who can use it as a new material, for example, in renovation, yard work, art, craft work, anything that you can ever imagine. So this application brings them together and makes recycling easy and easily approachable. And the users could be households, small businesses, or green sector in every region in all world. And this would benefit the whole world, and it would give to its user economic value, it would reduce pollution in the world, and it would educate people about recycling. I think this is application that we could start developing right away. We could make it international, so in every region you could download a waste bank to your phone and you could recycle easily. I thank you for listening, and I hope at some day we can reuse each other's waste. Thank you. Spasiba. Kiitos.
Thank you so much. Направление авиация будущего.
Then we have aviation of the future.
Maxim. I'm a French student. I study aeronautic engineering. For the past week, people from all around the world, students and experts of the aviation industry, have come together to think of the future of aviation. We think the future of aviation relies in new concepts such as low-boom supersonic aircraft, but we also think we are going to continue to optimize the current designs we have today to make them cheaper, more affordable, and more comfortable for the passengers. We also think the airports of tomorrow will be different. Thanks to new technologies, security checks will be done without the passengers even noticing, accelerating their access from the airport to their seats in the plane. We think the engineering is also going to change. We are going to improve the tools we have today, such as modeling and simulation. We're also going to have new tools, such as artificial intelligence or AI, to help our engineers to make faster prototype and help them in decision making. And finally, we have to rethink the factories of today, make them smart, use new materials, use new tools, such as 3D printing, to go faster. Finally, to the question, what is the aviation of the future? Our answer is, the future is aviation. Thank you.
Thank you. Направление международный молодежный.
Then we have International Youth Media Center, New Media.
Добрый день. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Меня зовут Ирина.
My name is Irina Velika. I'm the student from the Journalist Faculty of Moscow State University. I here represent the International New Media Center. In this platform, we have 5 directions: Media 360, Creative Media Lab, Social Media, Breaking News, and Prime Time. On the screen, you see the products that were created by us during all the days of the festival. This is a Pisochinska newspaper, video content, our website, our joint blog, and mobile studio Hyperbass. We were more than 500 people, and in the process of making those products, we deliberated about what the journalism would be in a decade from now. So the conclusion is that we see the future of media as follows. Creative Laboratory 2035 will be the generator of cross-culture content in order to elaborate positive thinking. It will be studying emotions and his perception in order to provide interesting solutions. Social networks will be integrated in all of the spheres of our lives, not only in communication, but also in the ambience governing. And the content will be retranslated by everyone, but the main source of reliable information still will be news agencies and media outlets. Newspapers will not die because they preserve traditions of high-quality journalism, so we will have new formats, but professional standards will be unchangeable. As for the TV and Internet, as we see it, their limits would disappear because new technologies and interactive formats will let us to broaden the ways how to get and acquire information and to involve the spectator in creation of the content. In conclusion, I would like to say that we all think that any topic might be a trend. The main thing that we have to do to devote all our efforts and to believe in what we are doing, so our concept of the future is rather simple, being sincere. It will be well demanded by the audience.
Экономика для будущего развития.
Economy for the future development.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lee Alexander, and I'm here to represent the economic track. So first of all, I want to say that these past 6 days were an amazing experience. I was able to participate in heated discussions, make new friends, and in a certain way, my perspective of the world has changed. So one of the main points that we discussed was that the human is going to be at the center of the economy, but not in the conventional way as a factor of production, but rather as a driving force of a more personalized economy. But to become this driving force and to meet the standards of this highly competitive world, we need to become more perfect. But how can we do that? The answer arises during the panel discussion, where 42% of the students voted that the most important economic sphere in the future is going to be human modification. So we're going to see a lot of artificial improvement of the human capabilities and skills with the help of bioengineering technology and probably an introduction of a new educational system. What is more, digital transformation and the rapid growth of transportation system is going to make our world even smaller, and we'll have a move to a new structure of the economy. We'll see a more mobile labor force with people working in a wider range of spheres throughout their lifetimes. And we're going to move toward a more efficient outsourced model of the economy, since the distance is not longer going to be an obstacle. To bring it all together, we're moving towards a decentralized, personalized economy with a human being at its core. Thank you for your attention. Спасибо.
Направление здоровье.
Healthcare.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Rachna. I'm an emergency physician from India. I thank Russia for giving this wonderful opportunity to interact with the young, ignited minds across the globe, especially my Foresight team. So we discussed that the threat of increasing antibiotic resistance and polypharmacy creates a need to control the irrational prescription and ensure communication between various stakeholders of health. So we came up with this POS portal, which stands for People, Organization, and State. It's an e-portal, and through this platform, patients can subscribe and rate the doctors and get personalized health advice and education. And doctors can access all the medical information and give electronic prescription. It will be designed in such a way that the system can give a corrective prompt for wrong prescriptions, and also the research groups, state, and medical organization can stay in loop of communication and get data regarding irrational prescription and statistics of the disease. And this can be used to decide about focused health education, resource allocation, and health policies. And the information given to each group will be classified and personal information will be protected. So we have to know that health protection is the task not only of the state but the society. Hence it's important for public organization, health systems, and medical volunteer organizations to work together. So let's communicate and cooperate to create a healthy future. Thank you.
Thank you. Гражданская платформа.
Now the Civil Platform for Development.
Здравствуйте, дорогие друзья.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Diana. I'm from Kazakhstan, and I represent the Civil Platform of Development. So what is the Civil Platform? That's us, all of us taken together. We, the participants of this festival, creative and expressing initiatives who are very passionate about their projects. We are all the participants of this platform, and we've passed through 50 events, and we've taken part in some of the most interesting initiatives, such as the signing of the agreement with the UN volunteers, and the practicing volunteers are present here today with us. We've developed a plan of joint work for the years to come with the active participants of the CIS countries. We've launched the project I Thank You, which through our foreign participants, through us, will get to the countries of the world and become truly global, because those ideas of kindness would be brought by the ambassadors to their own countries. We saw this competition. I want to make good things, and this gives the opportunity to people to do good, and this opportunities that we need, financial opportunities and resources. And it turns out that this competition would give an opportunity to more than 500 voluntary and social projects to get support, and this is highly important. And while working on the platform, we've also defined the main trends for the development of civil society, and we took those trends, and based on them, we've prepared the image of the future, which seems the most prosperous for the development of our generation and for the generation of tomorrow. One of such trends is the fact that digital technologies are truly helping social projects to be organized faster and better, and in future, we see that the social innovators are going to be the providers for their agenda. They are going to shape the agenda, and this is what we want. The second trend, which we defined for ourselves, is that people are now united into groups according to their interests. They are forming NGOs, they are forming some professional societies or not. So that is why we need to pay attention to make those societies more professional, to provide for their better work in future. So in future, we see that those global NGOs would be the institutes of development. And the third trend that we defined is the fact that there's a need for the trust between the government and the civil society. And only a harmonious society of the future, where the authorities can be supported and backed by the civil society, and the civil society would trust the authorities and thus implement their projects efficiently, would provide us with a way to move forward faster. And the fourth trend that we defined is the social diplomacy. We here today are the participants of this social diplomacy. It's important that the social diplomacy knows no borders, not political borders, not cultural borders, not economic borders. Every single one of us is a participant. Everyone who participates in international projects, the creation of international initiatives over the course of the last week, we believe that this social and public diplomacy will help us to become a truly civil society and fight global threats. And the last thing I would like to mention, me and all the participants of the Civil Platform of Development, we are sure that in the future society, in the future digital society, the civil activities and voluntary action would help us to remain human. Thank you very much.
Проектирование будущего, архитектура.
Now, project for the future, architecture and
My
design.
name is Zheng Haoheng. I come from China. Of course, my friend will call me Mark because that will be easier. Thanks to be here. I'm very glad to be here in the festival and my lovely department, Architecture and Design. Our topic is creating the future, architecture and design. You know, we're always thinking about the future. What will be the space in the future look like? No one knows a certain answer. But after the 5 days discussions, we found it out. In the future, the space will be a place, and there, nature, technology, and innovation will keep in balance, and everything stay in harmony. In physical side and vertical side, the future space can be conformed to different needs of different people. And architecture and design will become a meditative of the culture and history. Thanks for the amazing festival. We did a lot of works in here. We have lectures, discussions, and workshops. We signed an international resolution to protect the masterpieces of over-the-world architecture and valuable structures, which we abandoned before. We also agreed that creating an international platform is necessary, and we named it Dialogue. That means young generation like me, like you, we all can join inside, and we discuss there, communicate there, share our mind, and creating something just belong to us. And this is a project which I took part in. We sketched, designed, and built a structure by our hand. To awake people nowadays, don't forget handcraft. We used recycling materials and also think about conservation of heritage. Moving to the last part, that is the most important part. I think most of us here are not architects or designers, but maybe you're interested in that or learned it before. So let's join us. We can create the future. We can do some small things, like build a small room or houses by our hands. We help our neighborhood, and also we can change our life with our mind. Life is arts, and in the future, design will combine with science and technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Глобальная политика.
global policies and its agenda, how to protect the world.
Добрый день, дорогие друзья.
Good afternoon, dear friends. My name is Hamid. I'm the student of the Njimo University. Now I would like to present the results of our work in the section of global policy and its agenda, how to protect the world. The youth of all the countries is concerned for the future of our planet. Conflicts, wars, those are the obstacles of our sustainable development. We advocate for the progressive agenda, international agenda, seeing the example of international UN model during the festival. Now we see that the youth of the whole world recognizes the UN as a universal platform for international dialogue. Overcoming global threats and challenges will be only possible through joint efforts of all the international community. It is not a secret that the diplomacy is a key instrument of international dialogue. After the work in our section, we decided that we would start creating International Council of Young Diplomats. As of today, in the world, there is no criteria for reliability of information, and we've almost lost the right to choose the sources of information. We'll try to fight against fake news, to achieve truth, and we'll try to stop informational wars. We think that there is a lot of the potential for international dialogue at the platforms like BRICS, SCO, G20, and APEC. We'll try to develop international cooperation, educational exchanges, youth entrepreneurship, and high technologies. By that, elaborating new image of the future. We think it will be important to give the youth the possibility to become full-fledged members of world politics at all the levels. The world needs confidence, and we will be able to ensure this. Thank you so much. The future of science and global education.
Hello, my name is Yosser Ghazi, and I'm from Egypt. I represent science and education. Today, already some 40% of employers globally are finding it difficult to recruit people with the skills they need. So what is the problem? And why does the knowledge of graduates match the established educational standards? And most importantly, how can we find a solution that will produce a generation of highly qualified professionals who meet these standards? We believe that person-centered education is the best solution to this issue, whereby a focus on an individual approach is implemented. This ensures a higher quality of education, an increase in employability, and the formation of an inclusive environment. In the end, I have a question for you. Are you ready to invest in the future? You know, you can't go back and make a new beginning, but you can start now and make a new ending. Thank you.
Thank you. Индустрии будущего.
Industries of the future.
Здравствуйте.
Good afternoon. My name is Svetlana Shevchenko. I'm the postgraduate student from the physics faculty, and I'm the head of the renewable energy project. There were more than 1,500 participants from 99 countries of the world. We elaborated 150 new projects, from the solar energy from the space till the mine chain technology. And in the center of our project, we have a person, we have a global goal, we have a place where we'll be able to implement all of our projects for the future, a place where we have the scientific legislation zone. We propose to create a collaborative open research territory. Now the antibiotics development requires 2 years, but we'll be able to buy it only in 20 years. So this territory will be a boost for us in order to develop new technologies and to implement those technologies. I'm a scientist, so for me it's really important to have a place where I'll be able to work, to study, to learn new things, and to create. So COURT is a supranational free territory for introducing new technological decisions and implementing them. This is a place where we're able to work in genetic pharmaceuticals, to conquer space and to develop cities in the water, and to work with the cognitive technologies. This is a place where talented people from all over the world will be working. We need new Korolev and new Kurchatovs. We have territories, we have scientific potential, and we are brave enough, just as Yuri Gagarin had. So we would like to be ahead of this initiative to create a Quad, a supranational scientific territory, with the help of the United Nations and G20. We want to launch a pilot project in the Russian Federation, in Siberia, and in the Russian Far East in order to spread this experience to all of the countries of the world. We think that this is the first step of the Russian Federation and of the whole humanity. We want this project, Quad project, to be well recognized as the success of Artem Aganov. Thank you so much. World Railroad Network, anticipating the future.
Good afternoon to everybody. My name is Fabio Accogli and I'm coming from Italy. Ciao a tutti, sono Fabio e vengo dall'Italia. I'm so proud today to represent my delegation, the railway delegation, composed by more than 500 people, young people, but also high specialized staff in our countries. Coming from more than 25 countries worldwide. You can see the red corner of my group. Well, who we are? We are the railways. What's railways? Railway is a huge and modern linkage connecting goods, people along the states, countries, thousands of cities. In these days, we spend a lot of time together, and despite our differences, languages, mind, point of views, we discussed all together some common problems, and we try to face some new challenge, new opportunities. For example, the main topic that we dealing is for sure the unique and single platform for transportation. It's like a multimodal single way that will allow us, for example, to move thousands of mobiles from China to Europe by high-speed cargo railways, or for a single passenger that want to come from the point A or to the point B, he will move faster, easier, with a cheaper way. So we agreed, everybody, we need to develop this global transportation network, and we are ready to do this because we are today here all together. And all together, we already signed a memorandum for the next step to bring the future closer. Спасибо и привет.
Thank you so much. And now we'll give the floor to the lawyer from Canada. He will present his project initiative after the work at the festival. You have the floor.
Good afternoon. My name is Fraser Dixon, and I come from Canada. Well, my friends, it has been an extraordinary week. We have seen impressive effort from every field of human endeavor. But more than that, we have seen tremendous goodwill and excitement and curiosity about each other's worlds. So I think the question on all our minds should be, how do we keep this going? What happens when the festival ends? Well, the answer is Future Team. The festival doesn't end. Our work should continue. We should meet not just once every 4 years, but every year. And that's what Future Team is. It's an initiative that's been launched to connect us through a shared communication platform, to have cultural events, to have business events, and to ensure that the work that we've done here continues. You can think of Future Team as a pathway to bring our ideas from the halls of discussion to the halls of power, where the people who can make this change work. And I should say, since we're fortunate enough today to have with us one of those decision makers, the President of the Russian Federation. Mr. President, I hope very much that you can hear the voices from the entire festival, and I hope that you and your fellow leaders will take some time to reflect on the changes that need to be made for us to have a better world, and that you will be able to help us in our quest for greater dignity and greater freedom for all people all over the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me close just by saying this. We have done wonderful work this week, but we can always do better. We need to improve. We need to grow. There are always new voices that can be added to the discussion. There are new ideas and new hope to be found. And most of all, there are new friendships to be formed. So, ladies and gentlemen, Future Team is an idea. And the purpose of that idea is to tell us that we have before us a daunting future, but also a future full of opportunity. That future is waiting for us if we walk to it as a team. So let's go get it. Спасибо. Thank you very much.
Спасибо большое. Поблагодарим участников за
Let's thank the participants for their presentations. This is how they see the world of the future. And now I would like to give the floor to the distinguished President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin.
Добрый день, дорогие друзья.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. When I was coming here, I was thinking as to what I might say to you. And in the end, I understood that I should not set the goal of being interesting to you. First of all, because you have your own interests. And secondly, you are all young people. And the younger you are, the more firmly you are convinced that you know everything better than anyone else, and you know more than anyone else. So you shouldn't set the task of surprising you, for example. And me, just like the colleagues, your colleagues here on the podium, on the stage, I would like to say a few words, which I believe important to say after hearing your presentations. I will give you a few ideas as to what I think you should keep in mind when you will implement your magnificent and wonderful plans. I will start with a very simple thing first. Those plans, if those are not plans related to fundamental science, they should be practice-oriented, applicable, and they should be implemented in reality, and not only thinking of the world of tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, but thinking of today. For example, talking about environment. Our wonderful lady here, who is extremely beautiful, from Finland, talked about those waste-burning plants, and there are many plants like that in the world. But you should know that first and foremost, when you burn waste, you use the energy which is being produced as a result. But all over the world, this energy is not competitive. But if we want those technologies to be implemented everywhere, and if we want to actually influence the situation with the environment, then we need to use all the opportunities of modern technologies and the future technologies to make this energy more competitive. And while we will fund it from our budget, and I'm speaking as a professional here, this would not be broadly applicable. The same goes for aviation. Who talked about aviation here? You remember back in the USSR, there was Tu-144. The supersonic plane existed in Europe, but where are they now? Only as assault aircrafts. They are currently used, and in civil aviation they are no longer used. Why? Because it's too expensive. And Alexei Kosygin, who used to be the prime minister during the USSR times, he was asked, how much does it cost to buy a civil aircraft, supersonic aircraft, Tu-144? He answered that only one person knows, me, but I'm not going to tell anyone. So while this situation exists, it would be complicated to introduce modern technologies. I've recently met the young people of Russia, and I told them that you could imagine, and not only imagine, those are the realities of today, that from the westernmost point of Russia, from Kaliningrad, to the easternmost point of Vladivostok, you can go not only in 8 or 9 hours, but using space technologies in 20 minutes, because this is how our spaceship fly with the same speed. Can we use such technologies? Yes, we can. But whether we would do it today, no, because it's too expensive. As space tourism is now developed, it costs $20 million to go into space. Can you actually afford it? Probably not. But we need this to be introduced broadly. Can we do that? I'm sure that we can. But for that, we need to efficiently use new technologies, to implement them. And you spoke of it today. And in order to do this efficiently, you need to pay attention to the thing that I believe is the key thing, education. You've also mentioned that today. And it's wonderful that we in Russia managed to hold this festival. It has not ended yet, but it's concluding, and it's glad that we managed to have this meeting, this kind of discussion. And I can tell you why, because modern education is changing just like the technologies are. And it is evident that the competitive advantages would be given to those people who do not only have a set of important skills, but also those people who possess what we call today soft skills. They are creative and have model type of thinking and other types of thinking at the same time. When the person develops a whole route ahead in life of acquiring new skills and knowledge, because the world is constantly changing and education should catch up, and human beings should catch up as well. The competitive advantages would be given to those who can not only think as modern people, but those who accumulate knowledge from very diverse areas and very diverse areas of science, those who can combine the skills and knowledge and who can use it to resolve all the tasks ahead. Also important is one more point, and the festival's example is very poignant. We are talking about the skill of communicating with other people, the skill, if not suppress, but to control your own emotions and to work together as a team. It is a very important quality, and I would like to hope that this festival, and I once again would like to highlight this, that this festival helped you to develop those skills and is supporting these skills, and you will carry them throughout your life. And the third very important point for all of us, regardless of what we do or what we are going to do in future. You know what I'm talking about? This is the moral aspect of our profession, any kind of profession. You spoke of biology and of medicine here, and this lady here from India, she's doing some very specific work. She delivers first aid, emergency aid, but she also spoke about biology. And many people specialize in this kind of sciences and know what it's like. And some people are mostly taken by other things and are not very much familiar with these ideas. I would like to point out that this genetic engineering, which would provide us with new opportunities in pharmaceuticals, with new drugs and changing in the human code, would help to cure various genetic diseases, and that's fantastic. But there's another aspect to it. What does it translate into? It means that humans would have a capability to meddle with the human genetic code, which was created by nature, or people who are religious might believe that they're created by God. And what kind of consequences we might see. It means that we can imagine that, not only in theory, but in practice too. We can see that a human being might create another human being with a certain set of characteristics. It might be a genius mathematician or a genius musician. Or it might be a military man, a soldier, who would have no fear and no compassion and no pain. So you understand that the humanity can enter and will probably enter a very complex and very responsible period of its existence. And the things I mentioned today might be scarier than a nuclear bomb. When we are doing something, and whatever we are doing, I would like to say one more time, we should not forget about the moral and ethic aspects of the things we do. Everything we do should benefit people, strengthen the humanity, not to distract the humanity. And this is what I would like to wish you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Владимир Владимирович, мы говорили, что мы очень
Vladimir Vladimirovich, we mentioned that we are quite reckless, so I would like to ask you to remain here with us. And here, over the course of 6 days at this festival, we had an exhibition. And this exhibition showed the history of the festival movement in our country. And we understand that history is made here today, at this very moment. And we would like to ask you to sign the flag of the festival, of this year's festival, and we will give it to the museum for the future generations. And this would be the most dignified exhibit there. We believed it was very important to hear your opinion, and thank you once again for that.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you very much.